Kendrick Bourne from the San Francisco 49ers. You're watching the Niners All Day Show.
Yo, this is your boy Bronze, and this is the Niners All Day Show. I got my boy Trey with me.
What's popping? What's shaking? Chris Cohn, bacon.
Yeah, we got Grant.
Hey, I just want to say, Bronze, it's great to see you. And this show is so well produced. Bronze, you're a baller.
I'm trying to,
yeah.
First year. I can't wait for us. I got something cooking, for the next year. So, but yeah, man. But
that looks great.
Yes, thanks, man. Before we get into that, shout out to the Patreon members. We got Rashad for the GOAT tier, Cynthia, Mariah, Ryan, and of course Sean for the Gold tier, and the rest of the Patreon members. Thanks for everybody that's supporting to the channel, the subscribers and all that. Your donations greatly appreciated. Keep the show going. So with that being said, man, let's get right to it, man. We got Saints tomorrow.
We got the Saints tomorrow.
Are you gonna watch it, Dre? Are you gonna even watch this one? This one's
I'm gonna watch it. It hasn't got to the point to where we're content creators now, right? So it's like I can't not watch the game, right? And I'm such,
you have to.
Right. Yeah. I have to watch the game. Is it just me, or did the Saints make a really good football team in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers look like a subpar team? They made them look like the New York Jets.
They did.
They made them look like the Cincinnati Bengals. No, the Bengals have actually put up a lot of points against good teams. I've seen them put up 32 against a Super Bowl contending team. They made them look really bad.
If there's a silver lining for the Niners, it's that they've done that to the Saints have done that to the Bucs already. The Saints have played really well against the Bucs, and they've played some closer games against other teams.
Right. Yeah. I totally understand you, but it does make me a little bit nervous. Yeah. So yeah.
It's a 10 points spread.
It's a 10-point spread.
10 points.
Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad. Yeah. Only going to have 11,000 fans there, so we don't have to worry about the Superdome about to explode. So that's good, right? Probably, a good percentage of those fans might be 49ers fans, right? There's a lot of 49ers fans who have not been able to go to games at Santa Clara who are season ticket holders who probably said, hey, we're going to go down to the Big Easy and make it happen. You know what I mean?
True.
They
haven't canceled their trip because they're 4-5. But if you canceled your trip because they're 4-5, that's a pretty weak fan. The season isn't over yet.
Exactly. It's definitely not over. Not over. Let's talk about Kendrick Bourne, right?
Okay.
So what I've seen, the trend has been in the NFL, if there are 3 or more positives on one specific football team, they cancel the game and they reschedule, right? San Francisco 49ers were the first team in the NFL to where they had three positives, even though they were false positives, and they didn't reschedule the game, right? Yep. We lost 3 starters due to false positives, right?
Yep.
And then a couple of days later, they turn around and say, "Oh, we're going to put them on the COVID list," and then they take them off for again. What? Is that the NFL? Is there something with the NFL in Jed York? What's going on?
Makes you wonder, right? It takes you back to 2016, and then you remember that all this stuff started here, and that Jed York didn't necessarily encourage it, but it wasn't necessarily against it. And maybe who knows? But all these questions pop up in your mind, right? Like, is there a grudge to settle here?
You
need our help. Oh, well, you screwed us 4 years ago. Hey, good luck. Yeah,
exactly. And it goes all the way back to Super Bowl where, most dominant defensive line in the NFL. John B, thank you for that, man. We really appreciate that, bro. It goes all the way back to Super Bowl where the most dominant defensive line in the NFL did not get one holding call, right? And the biggest one on the 3rd and 15 where, Nick Bosa was clearly choked. He was choked. And he still almost got to Patrick Mahomes and they completed the game. But that's here nor there. I just wanted to kind of touch on that and see, to kind of judge the weather, you know what I mean, to see what exactly is going on between the NFL and the San Francisco 49ers, because it seems like we don't get a lot of breaks when it comes to the NFL. And it's kind of frustrating. You know what I mean? It's kind of frustrating.
I also think the NFL is much more protective of the East Coast teams and the West Coast teams. Like, who cares? Don't play your game, whatever.
Right.
You know, I don't know what it is, but it's like if the Steelers were in that situation, they would have canceled that game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Steelers, Patriots, all of those teams over there, they definitely would have canceled those games. So
yeah,
I just kind of wanted to touch on that.
The Niners have had some bad luck this year. A lot of it hasn't been their fault.
It hasn't. It hasn't. Freak accidents, injuries, they happen, man. But we're gonna see, like you said, man. This season isn't over. I'm not
real quick. The revenge tour thing, why I never liked it is I think you have to have a very humble attitude in football, because even if you have a great roster on paper and a great coaching staff, it's a war game. People get hurt. That's out of your control. It's almost between you and God, and you don't want to tempt fate in that way. You know? Right.
Yeah. And you know what, Grant? I have to say that I'm just as much guilty as anybody else. I thought we were going to roll back. We're going to be good.
It was a lesson learned for a lot of people. Yeah.
Right. We got the same pieces, same coaching staff. We didn't lose that much. Hey, we're going to be all right, man. We're going to come in and we're going to do the same thing. And then injuries smack you in the face. And like you said, man, you just never know how the cookie is going to crumble, bro. Yep. You never know. So let's talk about the wide receiving core, right? So it looks like we're going to have, I was hoping we have Deebo Samuel back. I don't know what's going on with that hamstring, because they never announced it to be a grade 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. They just said it was a tweak, and now it's going on 3 weeks, and he still hasn't been entered into the starting lineup. And it's going to be Kendrick Bourne, Brandon Ayuk, Richie James, River Craycraft.
I'm sorry. Every time people say his name, I laugh. Like,
he's questionable. I think
he is questionable.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Questionable.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks. Same with Trent Taylor. That's like the best news all week for the 49ers.
That probably is the best news all week for the 49ers. Is that Trent Taylor is probably not going to be in the field. Hey,
Kyle Shanahan loves those white wide receivers. I guess he sees himself in them. I think he sees himself in those guys. I really think he does. He's like, come on, man. You get open and I got open and we both got open.
Oh, you are stupid, bro. Hey, so how do you I mean, Bronze, how do you feel about the wide receiving core? Because we know what we're going up against. We're going up against the Saints, Emmanuel Sanders, Cook, Thomas, Taquan Smith. Like, they got pieces. How do you feel about our wide receiving core going up against the Saints?
I feel pretty good. I mean, it's all predicated on how, BDN, if BDN shows up and he gets protection. Yeah. I think we'll be fine. I mean, I'm more concerned on our running backs.
Me too.
Right?
Yeah. Me too.
So,
me too. Yeah.
They get going. I mean, the whole offense gets going.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't it seem like it's been a long time since Raheem Mostert got hurt too? It seems like a long time.
Yeah.
Like,
still on IR.
Yeah. Like, really, what's going on? Right? Are we tanking, Grant? Like, guys, are we tanking right now? Let's be honest.
We're going to find out in about 24 hours, right? We're going to know if they compete or not. I don't think they are. Like, I don't think Robert Saleh is. I don't think Fred Warner is. I don't think Nick Mullins is. But I just don't know where Kyle Shanahan's at, because when Shanahan wants to win, it's hard to stop him. You saw what he did to New England and the Rams. When he's disengaged, he can lose like a lot of games in a row. So I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and just be like, look, what were they supposed to do against Green Bay? They had those COVID things. It was ridiculous. And then going to Seattle the week after going to New England, I think must be physical and a physical impossibility. So I want to see what they do with 11 days rest.
Yeah.
Plus, what Big Face Kev said, it could end up being like 8 teams coming out of the NFC. If they do eventually cancel some games, they said that they're going to expand the playoffs.
Yeah. I got to be 100, man. What I see from Kyle Shanahan is he's tanking, bro. He's tanking.
I can't disagree. I can't disagree.
Yeah. Because I said this on the last show. It would suck if we win like 7 or 8 games. Hell, you could be a 9-win team and not make the playoffs this year. There's a lot of good football teams in the NFL right now, right? So it would suck if we win 8 games, not make the playoffs, and we don't have a top 10 pick.
Because you need to draft a quarterback. And the difference between the Niners this year and the Steelers last year, who went to 8-8. And that was a good thing because they knew they were getting Ben Roethlisberger back. They didn't have to draft a quarterback. Niners have to draft a quarterback.
We have to draft a quarterback, right?
Yeah. So, Grant, what do you think the plan should be for next season? Do we keep Garoppolo? Do we sign a vet? Do we draft a quarterback? All of the above?
No, I would get rid of Garoppolo. I'd like to free up the cap space. If we're going bridge quarterback, I'd rather keep Mullins because he'll be a lot cheaper.
Ooh.
And then I'm getting rid of Beathard too. So that's 2 spots.
Ooh.
I'd sign a guy and I draft a guy. They have to draft a guy with their first pick. Like it's a no-brainer. And then if you want to sign Jameis Winston or Ryan Fitzpatrick or whoever, that's fine. But Beathard and Jimmy, I think, gotta go.
Hey, Bronze, bro, did I ever say we ain't tanking last week? Did I ever say that? I wasn't really even on last week due to some personal issues I had going on. So I was on once last week. So I just wanted, we talk about a lot of stuff. So I just wanted to
maybe when you were saying if we didn't get the top 10 pick, maybe he's referring to that.
Just to rephrase, I didn't say that we aren't taking. I said I would hate for us to win 7 or 8 games and we not have a top 10 pick and not make the playoffs, right? Like it's just not for me. It's not worth it to make the playoffs knowing that you're not going to go to the Super Bowl and win it and then have low draft pick in the first.
Also, look at the landscape. There's a lot of teams with like 1, 2, 3 wins, and everyone says Trevor Lawrence is the first pick. Everyone says Justin Fields is the second pick. Everyone loves Zach Wilson. It's starting to look like he could be a top 5 pick. Trey Lance isn't probably going to fall much further than 10, 11, 12. Exactly. So if the Niners come in with the 15th pick, what are their options?
Exactly. It really sucks. So let's look at the football landscape and let's look at the teams who need a quarterback, right?
Yep.
The Jets, they don't necessarily need a quarterback. They just need to fire Adam Gase, right? So it seems like they're set at quarterback. We don't know what the Cowgirls are. We don't know what the Cowgirls are going to do because Jerry Jones is a liar. Jerry Jones is the NFL Donald Trump. He says he's a liar. Like you can't trust anything he says, right? Let's see what other teams need a quarterback. We don't know what the Vikings. Well, they're kind of locked in to Kirk Cousins. What other teams do you know that are that more than likely are going to try and draft a quarterback next year?
New England.
Yeah. But
New England. Maybe Atlanta. Depending on who the coach is who comes in. You can either keep Matt Ryan or get your own guy. A lot of times coaches want their own guy.
Yeah.
So that's another one. Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Who else?
There's a lot of teams.
There's a lot of teams, man.
Yeah.
Basically, any team that is in position to take a quarterback that high probably going to need a quarterback. New England's going to be one.
Yeah. Right. So, so it sounds like we need to tank. or just put everybody on IR. Don't play anybody.
You win 7 games in a row with Nick Mullins, win the Super Bowl, and then just ride out happily ever after. Quarterback. What you could do though, hey, what about if they finish 8-8 and they trade their first round pick to Atlanta for Matt Ryan? What about that? Is that a middle ground thing they could do? It'd be an upgrade over Jimmy.
Matt Ryan is a great quarterback, man, but at the same time, how old is he?
True.
How much does he have left in the tank? Yeah, I would much rather have Jameis Winston. He's a younger guy. He hasn't been beat up so much. He's shown that he could throw 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. He's shown that, right? So
what about are there guys after the top 4? I haven't watched that much of the kid from Alabama or the kid from
I don't like him. I don't like the kid from Alabama. He doesn't
Mac Jones, what his name?
Yeah,
Mac Jones.
Alabama quarterbacks never work out. Ever.
You were right, bro. That kid Zach Wilson is really good.
He is good.
Is it just me or is he like a 6'3" Kyler? He got some Kyler in him, doesn't he?
He has
the way he moves,
all the different platforms.
Yeah, all of those angles.
Ooh.
Yes, it's a lot of fun to watch. Only thing that's scary about him is that he's had shoulder surgery in his past. So and it was like a non-contact injury. So I'd have to, if I were going to draft a kid from BYU with a top 5 pick, you'd really have to examine that.
Well, you know what happened with the last BYU quarterback we had?
Worked out pretty well. Now, Ty Detmer was a BYU quarterback, and I think that didn't do so well. So you really got to the thing about when you watch Zach Wilson is I can't help but notice that there's never a pass rush around him. So he gets to kind of style behind the line of scrimmage. Okay. It's like it's going to be a whole different thing. And with him, the speed of the game might be a little daunting at first. He might not be ready to start week 1. You might want to let him sit for 8 games.
You might want to give him the Tua treatment, huh?
Exactly.
Give him the Tua
treatment.
Yeah.
Because Tua had the Tua treatment after coming from the SEC.
Yeah.
He had injuries.
Tua, that kid looks good. He just beat the Cardinals, and he didn't make it look hard at all. Sean Shepard, let me go ahead and read his contribution. Hey, Sean, we love you, bro. I appreciate your prayers and all your uplifting inboxes and DMs. If you guys ever need prayers, you're struggling with anything, hit Sean Shepard up on Twitter, and that is his name on Twitter. One, it's $5. Appreciate it. He says, 1, I think Kyle is pushing Nick's development.
Yeah.
Okay. 2, we are tanking without the appearance of tanking. Kind of makes sense. 3, we may go all out this game. Kyle's ego versus Sean Payton.
Yeah.
We do know that Kyle Shanahan has a big ego. He on his Kanye-ish right there. He does have a huge ego, but at the same time, from what I've seen, I just don't know. And it's not even from play calling, from the way we play the games. It's personnel-wise. I know some of these guys are healthy to play games right now, Grant. I know they are.
Look. The Niners got in trouble earlier this season rushing guys back. They got in trouble with Jimmy. They got in trouble with a couple of guys. And I think with Debo in particular, it's been a nightmare year for Debo. He got hurt in June. Then he came back and got hurt again. He hasn't gotten a chance to actually get healthy. I think they feel if they can just get healthy after this bye week, they can go on a run. Guys, I don't think they're tanking. It's a legit question. It really is. Okay. But I don't think they're tanking. I think that they look at this stretch as a 7-game gauntlet from hell, starting back with the Rams game, ending with the Bills game. Right. And so far, they're 2-2 in it. That's respectable. If they finish this 7-game gauntlet 3-4, that means they get to the Washington game, they'll win that. They'll get to the Dallas game, they'll win that, and then they'll be 7-7 with 2 games to go. What more can you ask for? I don't think they're tanking. I think they'll be 7-7 with 2 games to go. And then they'll have to beat Arizona and Seattle.
Get into the playoff and hopefully get into the playoffs and get most of the guys back healthy.
And again, when they have Debo and Mostert on the field together, it almost doesn't matter who the quarterback is.
It doesn't. It
really
doesn't, bro. It doesn't. Yeah. And you know what pissed me off about the Debo injury? Kyle, we're up 33 to what? And you line them up at running back and you do a
sweep third down.
On third down. Like what? I understand it's Bill Belichick. Like I understand you want to put up a 40 burger against Bill Belichick. I get it, but don't do that.
He's running on third down, which is not an aggressive call. Just hand off to anyone but Debo. Oh my God. Good call. Good call, man. That was
pissed me off.
Careless.
It really pissed me off. And you seen as soon as he got hit out of bounds, bro, you seen that he came up gimpy. And I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go.
It's a 3-week. If you've ever pulled your hamstring, I used to run track. It's a 3-week injury. It's serious. Yeah. It hurts. And you can't really, you get out of shape. You can't move for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah. So, we'll see what happens.
And again, with Nick Mullins, I made this point before on a different show, but he doesn't have the winning record of Jimmy Garoppolo. He's never got to play an extended stretch with Mostert and Debo. When this team started winning, they got those 2 guys on the field together. I think we're seeing that they're kind of the MVPs because it's a run-first team. Having Kittle out there is great, but you got to run the ball, and those 2 are your best runners.
Hey, Bronze, what did I say, bro? I said that Debo Samuels is more important to this offense than George Kittle. We've seen it.
He's like a running back. He actually runs the ball, and so does Mostert. Yeah.
He can do anything, bro. Like he opens up our offense. We've seen games where Kittle came up small against against the Dolphins. Two receptions.
They lost because they're not a pass first team.
Right. Exactly.
Like the Atlanta game last year. Like he went for 150. Doesn't matter. Yeah, that's not their identity.
He still lost. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So let's talk about Jimmy, right? So if we if we do not retain him next year, it frees up $27 million, correct?
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Like 23.
The neighborhood, yeah.
Okay. And then Quan's already gone, so we just freed up like another $13 million next year. Right?
D Ford,
he only frees up 6.5.
Sure they're going to get rid of D Ford. Let me just throw that out.
Yeah, he
Really?
only
They
frees
love
up
D Ford
6.5.
if he's healthy. I don't. D Ford might retire, but I don't know if they're going to cut him. Well, we'll see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, between Jimmy and Quan's contract, it's like 30-something million. Like, I love Quan. Everybody on here knows that he's probably, besides for KB, he's probably my favorite player that was on the team, because of his energy. You never hear anything negative about him. Upbeat, up tempo, just a good dude, man.
Leadership.
Yeah, and he brought something different to our team. And you see what Fred Warner said when Quan got traded. Like, I wouldn't be the linebacker that I am without Quan.
That's true. That was the right move at the time because they didn't know what Fred Warner was going to be, and Fred Warner might not be this now if he hadn't.
Right.
Because I could see it in practice. He was emulating Quan's energy.
Yes.
Right.
He didn't have that as a rookie.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, man. But when you look at it, the move makes sense because if you could free up 13 million and like another 27 million over the next 2 years, like, it's a pretty good job.
Well, you know where a lot of this money's going to have to go, Dre.
Trent Williams,
Warner's
Warner.
going to get 20 million a year, Dre.
Yeah. Now, hell no.
He
A middle linebacker getting that money?
How much is he's going to be the highest paid middle linebacker in the league.
Oh,
how much is the highest paid middle linebacker getting right now? Do you know? You know who it is?
It's Khalil Mack.
It's middle. It's Bobby Wagner. And he's making
Bobby
18.
Wagner, middle linebacker.
Yeah.
Middle. Okay, my bad.
Bobby Wagner.
Yeah,
and he's making 19.
Yeah,
18. So
good Lord.
Can we match that or?
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
Oh man,
he's going to be in DeForest Buckner territory, and now you're going to give the money that you didn't feel comfortable giving to a pass rusher to a middle linebacker. And I love Fred Warner, but this is what's going to happen, man. And they're going to give it to him because they drafted it and developed him. They have more.
Are you saying that he's not? Are you saying that Fred Warner is not more important than a pass rusher?
No, he's the leader of the team. He's the best player on the team. He's the quarterback of the defense.
He's worth
it. He's worth it. I would give it. He's worth it. He's worth it.
All right.
He never misses a game. He's hella good.
Yeah.
Hey, so Grant, bro. Yes. We re-signed like 22 players with 21 million in cap space, right? If we have 30 something, just between Quan and letting go of Jimmy, if we have 30 something plus the money that we're going to have already, do you see it possible that we're going to be able to re-sign guys like Kyle Juszczyk? This offense isn't the same without Kyle Juszczyk. K1, DJ Jones needs to get re-signed.
No, it's not.
He just threw on some water.
I just shampooed it for the first time in a week, and it always gets like real poofy.
Yeah. So do you see us being able to re-sign all of the guys that we want and possibly bringing in a pretty?
No, they're gonna have to let a lot of guys go. They're gonna have to be very judicious. Like K1, I don't think they're gonna bring him back. I mean, they'll have a price for each guy, but a 29-year-old, 39-year-old nickel, not the highest priority. Although they don't have a replacement. But I think him, I don't know. Sherman probably gone.
Yeah.
Juszczyk is an interesting one.
We like to keep Juice. We have to, Brent. We have to
get him the ball because he's one of your best players.
Juice has the Debo factor.
I love Juice, man. And I really believe that he deserves 4 or 5 touches a game, and he only gets 1. But if they're going to continue to underuse him, then you can't justify paying him what he's worth. And another team could look at him and be like, I would actually use Juszczyk as more than a blocker. I'm happy to give him whatever 4 or 5 million a year. So I don't. If the Niners, if it's close, I don't see how they can justify it. Same thing with Emmanuel Sanders. Sanders was great for the Niners, but they didn't use him enough to justify paying him 10 million a year. He's better. He's a better fit on New Orleans.
Yeah. I mean, with Juice, I mean, you just see games where, like the Patriots game, bro, where he's making blocks that are busting open big runs. And they're doing 31 traps and he's in the end zone and he's making diving catches. He's the best fullback in the league. This offense doesn't work without Kyle Juszczyk at fullback. And
they better find a way to keep him. But it almost
it's really
phasing him out. Like they came out last week. I don't know if you noticed, but the first series against the Packers.
I seen it. You said that Trent Taylor had more snaps than Juszczyk. Yeah.
Why is he not on the field? That stuff makes me wonder. Makes me wonder. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, cut his snap count and devalue his contract money per year. That's the name of the game in the NFL, and it sucks, but that's what happens. Yeah,
that's what they're doing.
So Shannon Sharp is probably on big TV networks. I think he's the best in the game, right? And he had a story about where he had, and this is back in the day, like early 90s, where he had a story where if he broke a certain amount of receptions and yards, then he was going to get $250,000, right? He was one reception and 3 yards away.
Yep.
He didn't get the ball he didn't get a target the whole second half.
Yep. That's right. Hey, this
That's
stuff
how
is
the NFL
common.
works.
I told you this before. In the mid 80s, like one of the original contract disputes was between Al Davis and Marcus Allen. And Marcus Allen wanted like an extra $1 million. And Al Davis was like, no, not only are you not going to get money out of me, but you're not going to win. I'm going to beat you. So he would tell his coaches, I don't want to see Marcus's face on the cover of the sports section of the LA Times celebrating touchdowns. When we're in the red zone, you do not give him the ball. And there was one game where they were at the goal line losing, and the coach called a run for Marcus Allen. He scored, they win, and Al Davis comes into the coach's box like, what the hell are you doing? The guy's like, I'm sorry, did you want to lose? Did you want to lose? And Davis just left. It's some weird stuff that goes on in the NFL.
Yeah, it does, man. So I could totally see it happen, especially with a sneaky mad scientist like Kyle Shanahan. He gets it done. He will do it. Like Kyle, he's probably a nice guy, but Kyle's cutthroat, bro.
Hey, but speaking of roster politics, you heard what Richie James Jr. said this week, right?
I heard him. He was talking to you. Yeah,
that was a good
and bro, I like how you tried to get him to elaborate. So
the other guys weren't going to go back. Like, what?
Right. So Richie, how the business works? What exactly do you mean? I started dying, bro.
He was like, man, why are you doing that to me, man? You know you're trying to get me in trouble. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
but hey,
bro.
you brought it up.
He
brought it up.
Hey, man,
he's right.
We've been saying it since last year. A guy has six receptions, and he's averaging 27.5 yards of reception, and he's not on the field. And you're putting Trent Taylor, and you're constantly giving Dante Pettis chance after chance after chance. Just stop with the Trent Taylor stuff. This guy broke a Bronze. What was the record? 3 40-yard receptions in one game, right. and who was the last person to do that?
Jerry Rice.
Wow. He's electric. I mean, you can't look at what he did against the Packers and be like, oh, that's a one-game fluke. That's what he usually does.
That's what he does.
Right.
In fact, he's kind of like the wide receiver Mostert. Like, all you got to do is give him the opportunities. And there's so many players on this team. To me, that is kind of what the personality of this Niners team is. It's like the next man up guy, the undrafted guy, the 7th round pick who didn't get the shot. I like that about this team. It's one of my favorite things about this team.
Yeah.
I want to
developing guys.
I want to show this real quick. This clip.
Yeah, we gotta see this. I didn't get to see this part.
Stupid.
Nick, I forgot my question. Let me come back to you.
I gotta start writing it down, I guess.
Hey, Nick's face, he looked like, what the hell is Grant gonna ask because he's taking so long? Like, he looked nervous, bro. That was funny, bro.
And you saw finally asked, like, hey, have you told Kyle Shanahan that you don't want to throw shovel passes and screens? Because I noticed he doesn't really call those for you. And he said, no, I haven't said that. And then like halfway in, he realized what I was trying to do. And he was like, hey, by the way, it's kind of like who we're playing. It's like, nah, man, tell Kyle to call those
passes. Exactly. I mean, so it's basically a consensus between the three of us that we're not so confident about winning this game, right?
Not without Debo and Mostert, no.
It's going to be tough, right?
I mean, game.
Yeah.
What do you guys? What do we do to stay competitive in this game?
Do you think we're gonna do like Richie James? Is he gonna do more like Debo's role?
Yes.
These type of plays.
You can't give up on the gadget offense with no Debo. You got to use Ayuk and Richie James in those ways as much as you can. Have to. You have no chance because you're not going to be able to hand the ball off to McKinnon 15 times or 20 times. He's not that kind of player, and it doesn't seem like the coach trusts Hasty enough to give him more than 4 or 5 carries if he's not producing.
I don't know why. Well, yeah, he had that fumble. Luckily, he got it back, but Bad Jimmy showed up right after. Is there the slightest chance that we could possibly win this game?
I think so. I do. Yeah. I don't think the Niners are as bad as they've shown the past 2 weeks. Again, the Green Bay game was a joke. And then playing in Seattle after playing in New Orleans, in New England is really hard. Now they got 11 days off. They're 3-1 on the road. They have 2 of the best coaches in the league. They have it again when their offense is clicking. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is because it's a gadget offense anyway. Yeah, I mean the way I look at it is it all comes down to third down in this game. If the Niners can do a good job on Drew Brees on third down, you compete. They're the number 1 third down offense in the league. They're not a big play offense, not an explosive offense, not a fast offense. They're just relentless. They move the chains. And I don't know what the Bucs were doing last week, but if the Niners can just like take away the quick throws, then they stand a chance. And I still think they have a good defense, so I'm interested.
Yeah.
Who's the running backs that's going to play? It's going to be McKinnon and one guy that's been activated.
McKinnon and Hasty and Walter, which is
Walter. Yeah.
If they had Debo and Mostert, I would pick them to win, but they don't. And the thing about Debo and Mostert, they make the defense better too because they win time of possession. The defense is fresher. They're really important to the team. Yeah. Mostert too. Trey, do you see what I'm saying? Although he is,
hey, bro. The only reason I said he's not a number 1 running back is because he can't carry the ball 15 to 20 times a game.
He hasn't shown it.
Up. And look what happened, bro. Exactly what I said. He is not the type of back that's going to carry the ball every time, every down. Like he's not the bell cow.
When he does get hurt, I never see it. So it's like, was it a non-contact injury?
Exactly.
Was it overuse? What happened? I don't know when he got hurt.
Exactly.
So yeah, you're right, man. When he does play, I freaking love watching that.
Oh, I love it when he plays, but it's just like, you throw Tevin Cohn under the bus, then you request a trade and you get more money, and it's just like, bro, you want to be a number 1 quarterback, but you're not. You're a change of pace running back. You're a guy who's
and what I heard is that last year the reason he never started is because he has a knee thing that the Niners tried to manage. So maybe he tried his best to get in shape for 200 carries this season, and he isn't built for it. In which case, let him be the best change of pace back in the league. Great.
Hey, mark that down, Bronze. At 32 minutes and 15 seconds, breaking news. Raheem Mostert actually had a knee condition that the 49ers were trying
That's what
to
I heard,
manage,
that they were trying to manage it last.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, bro. See, it's so much that goes on with the NFL franchise. You never know what it's like. A soap opera, bro. It's like all of our children. You know what I mean?
And
like you don't know what's going on.
The drama that you don't know, because again, fans think they know about 3%.
Right.
And there's so much crazy stuff that doesn't get out because the NFL does a really good job of cleaning it all up. They got their own security guards when these players get in trouble. They get there before the cops do. I mean, it's amazing. It's big business.
When you think,
oh yeah, they got, how it goes. I mean, how it goes. There's people whose job it is in the organization to make sure that like the Alden Smith, Reuben Foster stuff doesn't happen. So when things go down, you call the security guys, not the cops.
Right.
A lot of times, security guys are former cops or private investigators or like people who
are crazy.
If you're a $1 billion franchise, you can't leave this stuff to chance. You got to have people like that. You got to have. It's like the mob, dude. It's like the mob.
So
which is why I put my shoulder in Oakland. I talk a lot of crap about Jed York, and he really is one of the most powerful people in the Bay Area. People in the South Bay are legitimately afraid of him. He's just buying up city council. He just spent $2 million a couple months ago so he can buy the city council and extend the freaking curfew on Levi's by like an hour. So Jed, if you're watching,
he got that.
You're a really handsome guy. I think you're really smart. You're doing a great job.
I mean, he's buying city council, but he ain't bought Santa Clara enough for them to allow fans at the stadium. They're not budging.
No, they're not.
They're not budging.
No. There's like a war going on between city council of Santa Clara.
But why does Santa Clara? He brings so much to Santa Clara. Like, why would they hate that? Like, he's providing employment. He's providing revenue. Hotels, restaurants are making money. Like, why gas for gas stations? Like the high gas tax. Like, why does
I'm an Oakland resident, so it's not really my issue. But what I understand working with Jed is tough because you'll reach an agreement and then it doesn't exist. He lies. So like they had an agreement. The first thing he tried to do was take the soccer field away from the kids. And the Santa Clara was like, wait, that was the first thing we said. Like, don't take the soccer field because it's right next to the stadium. And they were like, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, you can have the soccer stadium. And then like a year in, they're like, hey, we're gonna need that soccer stadium, by the way. And they're still fighting over it. Like Jed's like, no. Like, I want that parking lot. Like that needs to be my parking lot right now. So it's like real personal, man. And they feel like you can't operate in good faith with Jed because he just takes what he can get and waits and takes and waits and takes.
Jed is a savage.
Also, I think there's like lawsuits about him and the workers at the stadium, like him not paying on time, him not paying in full.
Man, what's going on, bro?
He's not like Eddie who takes took
care of everybody.
Eddie is not
the mob.
Jed cuts corners. I'm telling you, there's a whole different thing going on. Eddie was what you just said.
Yeah,
take care of people.
Right.
That doesn't get that.
Right. Sean Shepard, man, we appreciate you. Another contribution. Things are bad again. Bay Area. Bad again in the Bay Area. COVID outbreak again. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go too much into that, man. I just know that they always say you never let a good crisis go to waste. They're making a lot of money off of this stuff. That's all I'm gonna say about it, bro. I know several people who have had COVID and they don't even have no damn symptoms. So, but
I know a family friend who's my dad's age, who's 75, who basically threw my wedding last year. He got COVID in February, one of the first guys to get it. He was on a ventilator for 12 days and lived. It's like a miracle. So don't spread it to your parents. Be careful. You probably will be fine, but I've seen it. It's brutal.
Yeah. Hey, remove that. Can you remove that comment from Greg Grant's face?
What happened?
Which one?
The Sean Shepard. Oh, I guess I'm the only person that sees it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Then we're good. All right. Yeah. This. I mean, we've covered a lot of information.
Yeah.
Grant, do you really think that that Jimmy's gonna be going next year? And we'll end it.
I do. I feel like Kyle Shanahan has been kind of trying to make a case for years that they should move on. And everyone in the organization is like, no. You win with him. And finally he can be like, look, man, see, can't stay healthy. He's expensive. He's not mobile. I kind of feel like Kyle broke him. Like Kyle's been trying to do this for a while and finally did it. I don't think Jimmy's ever been the same since the NFC Championship game. He had a bad game against the Vikings. It was his first playoff game. Then he goes against the Packers, and say what you want about how Kyle called that game. 8 pass attempts. It's embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. And he has to live with that. He went into the Super Bowl, and it was time for Jimmy to step up and win the whole thing. And he just knew that the head coach didn't trust him, and he crumbled. And since then, even before he hurt his ankle, like week 1 against the Cardinals, like what is that, dude? What happened? And I blame Kyle a lot. And I wonder if they do get rid of Jimmy and Jimmy can go somewhere where he can kind of just take his time, get healthy, and get someone else in his head telling him he's good. I don't know. He could end up being really good again. That's the scary thing about him, but I do think he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need a QB that's, mobile, but we need a QB that has that deep arm accuracy. That unlocks Kyle's offense straight up.
And I think all these guys in round 1 got it. That's the thing. Like any guy with round 1 talent that you put in this team with this skill position players and Kyle, it should work. And it's cheap.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you can bring in more players to help him. It should work.
And you know what else? Why I think Jimmy's going is because, believe it or not, there is a lot of wide receivers on this team right now who get frustrated when Jimmy Garoppolo's on the field because they know his limitations. You can see it. You can see it with KB being wide open in the end zone multiple times. You can see it with Brandon Ayuk. You can see it with Debo.
See them shrug like.
I don't think Debo wants to just be a running back. I mean, he does it for Jimmy, but there's a lot more that Debo can do, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
He can go down the field. Here he has to play running back. It's tough.
Right. Yeah.
So I do believe we're going to draft a QB next year. but I believe we need a bridge quarterback. And Grant, you think it's going to be Nick Mullins?
Well, look, he gets the next 7 games to make his case. I don't know. I believe in Nick Mullins to the extent that we've seen him, but he still has had 11 starts, 10 starts. It's up to him. He can make a case, and if he fails, then no, it can't be him, and they got to get a guy like Ryan Fitzpatrick or something like that. We'll see.
Yeah, man. I just really hope that because you could see Nick Mullins has the potential, right? But
he can't move. Yeah. He doesn't have an arm. I mean, he's very limited, but he knows the offense. He can operate what Jimmy does a lot of the time. Clearly, they want a better athlete at the position. They should.
Yeah, man.
Trey, what do you want the situation to be? What would you do? What would be the game plan QB situation?
I want a top 10 pick. I would trade a player in 3 picks if I had to get Zach Wilson. I believe he's that good.
Yeah. Would you get a bridge quarterback also,
I'd keep Nick Mullins. I definitely keep Nick Mullins.
He's like the perfect backup.
Yeah.
Perfect backup.
He knows the system. He's been there for a while. And he doesn't seem like the guy who wouldn't, give the younger guys some tutelage. Jimmy, you could tell Jimmy is just it's about me. I don't got time to help you with your plays.
He got that from Tom Brady. That's
probably. Hey, you can learn by watching.
So but yeah, man, really good show.
Absolutely, man. Yeah,
really good show.
It's a little subdued. I mean, I think it's been about 11 days since they've played, and we need to see the Niners do something because right now we don't even know if they're tanking or competing. And my gut is that they're going to come out and really compete and give it a good effort and lose. They could get blown off the face of the freaking planet tomorrow. They're going up against a really good team. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Grant, you mentioned this. I remember this year you talked about.
Aaron Rodgers. It doesn't seem like the Packers. Look. The only way it happens is if they lose round 1.
Because they're having no way in hell they're trading Aaron Rodgers, bro. The way that man is playing right now, he's turned back the hands of time to 2010, 2008.
All I'm saying is you don't remember. It's a very emotional sport, and if they lose, if they go 1 and done in the playoffs, you never know how a team can overreact. And they did draft Jordan Love, so it's something to think about. Something to think about. Things look good now, but it's still not even December. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens.
Bro.
Yeah.
Hey, man. He's a Bay Area kid. All right, so he's a Bay Area kid. Chico.
All right, man. Well, next week it'll be a bye week, so we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
And we'll know whether they're going to the playoffs or to the top 10 pick by then.
Yeah, man. Hey, Grant, bro, I really appreciate you, bro.
Of course, man. You too.
Coming on and talking.
Ron, it's great to see you. It's been a while.
Man, I know, man. Been busy on Saturdays.
Every time I come back, the show has 8 different updates. It's really well produced. I just want to say that. And Ron, you're definitely earning your keep over there, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, man. All right, man. With that being said, everybody, thanks for tuning in. See you next time. We out.
This is Kendrick Bourne from the San Francisco 49ers. You're watching the Niners All Day Show. What up, Bronze? What up, Dre? Let's get it, man. Yeah.